Well, before the break, we learned about the enterovirus and the flu, two viruses that you can help protect your family from simply by washing your hands.
Yeah, but what if you had to rely on the honesty of a complete stranger for your family's health? Well, that is the horrifying reality for thousands of Americans who unwillingly or unknowingly buy homes or rent apartments contaminated with toxic meth residue. In today's Angie's List report, how to uncover your home's history before you move in.
I feel like I put them in harm's way more so than I could have ever just staying where we were. You know, I regret moving so bad.
Jennifer Nugent and her husband spent thousands of dollars remodeling their home before moving in with their 3 children last year. A few months later, they were constantly sick, coughing, diarrhea, vomiting, but they couldn't figure out why.
And it just got to a point where we couldn't stay well. It's heartbreaking to know that I have to yank them out of something they love because of something he did.
Nugent's concern turned to panic when her new neighbors shared some disturbing news. The home's former owner was a meth user. Nugent immediately had her home tested and results confirmed high levels of contamination.
That's when we knew it was bad, and I was so grateful we did not return.
The Nugents moved out in March and are now working with Crisis Cleaning, a certified company that specializes in meth lab testing and cleanup.
We're trying to put the family back together by putting the house back together.
When making or smoking meth, nothing escapes contamination. A string of toxic chemicals saturates carpets, walls, ductwork, ceiling, and furniture, forcing cleanup crews to throw away just about everything before thoroughly cleaning all surfaces. Exposure to even small amounts of those poisons can cause serious health issues, especially in small children.
If you just think mold's bad, no, meth is worse. And mold's pretty bad. And asbestos, yeah, sure, but meth is up there.
Authorities discovered more than 11,000 meth labs across the country last year, but say that represents only a fraction of the number of homes where meth is made or used.
The police, they're trying to bust them all, but not everybody's busted. Sort of like this house, it wasn't busted, it's not on a list.
Meth labs can be found anywhere. This is not a rural home problem. You can find them in suburban, lovely homes to million-dollar penthouses. So you want to be aware of the dangers of a home that's had a meth lab in it and be sure that you're doing all of your research before buying.
So what can you do to protect yourself?
A simple way to get great information on a house you're considering buying is actually just to talk to the neighbors in the neighborhood. Knock on doors, introduce yourself as looking at the house down the street, and find out what you can. You'll be amazed at the information they may be able to provide you.
You could also check out the DEA's National Clandestine Laboratory Register to see if the home has been used to manufacture illegal drugs. Since not all meth labs are busted, there are ways you can test the home for drug residue.
If you're house hunting, you should buy a meth test kit.
My advice is, despite the condition of the home, just spend that extra $50 for your peace of mind to know that there is not meth in the house.
The Nugents say they're not sure if they'll ever return to that house. They have sued the seller and the home's listing agent for damages. That lawsuit is pending. Angie's List says disclosure regulations and decontamination laws vary by state, so make sure that you do your research. You can call or visit the local police department and ask them to check the address of the home that you're looking to buy. Check for drug busts, arrests, and other problems at that location. You can also check with the health department to make sure the home isn't on a list connected with any health department reports. Now, it's important that you do all this before you buy that home, because decontamination jobs can be expensive. As a matter of fact, Angie's List says it can run as high as $10,000.
And like she said, these are not big city problems. This is happening everywhere. So you want to make sure you cover all of your bases. Well, obviously, a lot of hassle could be avoided if we were able to catch more of the people making and selling those drugs. Well, too bad that's easier said than done. Law enforcement agencies are always looking for ways to catch these drug dealers. Well, one DEA agent went as far as to create a fake Facebook page using a real person's name and photos to track down suspects. But did he go too far? In her lawsuit, Sandra Arquette's lawyers say she was arrested in July 2010 as part of a DEA narcotics investigation. Agents believed she had been in a relationship with a drug kingpin. Her cell phone was seized, and in August 2010, DEA agent Timothy Sinegan set up a Facebook profile without Arquette's knowledge, but using her name and photographs of Arquette in revealing outfits and photos of Arquette's child and her niece. Sinegan then used the fake Facebook profile to send a friend request to a wanted fugitive and communicated with other suspects. In her lawsuit, Arquette's lawyers say she suffered fear and great emotional distress because by posing as her on Facebook, Sinegan had created the appearance that Arquette was willfully cooperating in this investigation of the narcotics trafficking ring, thereby placing her in danger. A court response filed by U.S. Attorney Richard Hartunian acknowledges that Sinegan created the Facebook page without Arquette's knowledge or permission, but says Arquette implicitly consented by granting access to the information stored in her cell phone. The U.S. Attorney's response also says Sinegan created an undercover Facebook page which was used for legitimate law enforcement purposes, during the course of which he posed as Arquette. As a defense to the lawsuit, the U.S. Attorney says Arquette did not have a First Amendment right to privacy in the photographs contained on her cell phone. The response filed by the U.S. Attorney also denies the lawsuit's claim that Arquette suffered special damages as a result of Sinegan's conduct. Now, a trial is scheduled to start sometime later this month before a federal court judge. The lawsuit asks for at least $250,000 in damages.
Trying to catch the bad guys. I mean, law enforcement has to get creative sometimes.
They do, but can they cross that line?
Can they cross that line? Well, from the DEA to our local crime fighters, up next on Delmarva Life, we are showing you our Monday's Most Wanted.
And later, not everyone can agree fall is their favorite time of year, but one thing we can all agree on, critters this time of year are a nightmare. Learn how you can get rid of the guys like these and how you can keep them out for good.
But first, you know that Delmarva Life is all about community, and that includes your community too.
Is there something going on in your neighborhood? We'd love to hear about it and see your photos from the event. Send the information our way along with any pictures you'd like to share.
You can reach us at comments@delmarvalife.com, or you can like us on Facebook and share the information there. Delmarva Life will be right back.